What is up, guys? Ncaa 31 here. This is a rarity. This is a rare sight indeed, an online ranked game of Ncaa 13. Not just that, but an online ranked game under my Ncaa 31 profile and not an alias. And using my Notre Dame Fighting Irish. You're going to notice a couple of things here. I've been working on trying to shut down the wide side slot out and the left side curl out. Wow. Out of man 1 and man 0. Without sacrificing too much pass rush. What do people online like to do in this game? Curls, outs when they see man-to-man coverage. So, following the old Bobby Bowden axiom, if you try to stop everything, you'll stop nothing. I want to do just that. Obstruct those wide side outs and the left side curl out. Because for some reason, the man coverage out of man free or man 0 defense on the left side particularly is just idiotic this year. So I want to try to mitigate that as much as humanly possible. So this was kind of like a live laboratory experiment, and you guys will see how well it goes. Rolling with the 3-3-5 stack playbook and the Ohio State spread playbook, because I'm on a bit of a spread kick as of late. And of course, you know I'm rolling with Gunner.
Could be a check with me right there.
This is going to be a very Notre Dame centric college football wrap up. You know it's going to be. Notre Dame checks in at number 5 in the initial BCS rankings. We have Alabama at 1, Florida at 2, Oregon 3, K-State 4, Notre Dame 5. And the computer rankings really love Florida and Notre Dame. The computer rankings have Florida at number 1 and Notre Dame at number 2.
Hits him hard at the 7-yard line. Even though they lost more than a chance.
Rest of the top 10, LSU at 6, South Carolina at 7,
He gets it up, and they tack on 3
Oregon
points.
State at 8, Oklahoma 9, USC 10. So what do you make of all that? Is Florida really the second best team in the country? I'm sorry, but Oregon's better than them. Oregon is better than Florida. I've watched virtually every Florida Gators game, and I watch as much Oregon as I possibly can. Oregon's better. K-State, I don't know, I haven't seen them that much. I'm going to say Notre Dame's better too, just because they're Notre Dame, no other reason. LSU, who knows? Obviously they lost to Florida, but I can see Florida losing some games coming up. Who does Florida have? Let's pop up Florida's schedule.
Dangerous throw. This one's picked off. Brought down at about.
They have South Carolina and Georgia. I can see them splitting those two games easily. Easily.
And they make the stop around the 33.
I like the way Florida's kind of growing up. Every week they seem to be getting better and better, but those are two rough games. Missouri they should handle, and they have Louisiana, Lafayette, Jacksonville State, and then Florida State. So I can see them splitting between South Carolina and Georgia, and I just want to see a relevant Florida State game with a lot on the line, and just had to have that game have some kind of national relevance.
The senior makes the catch. Excellent open field.
But I'm going to toot the Notre Dame horn. Notre Dame beat Stanford, even though you may want to argue that Stanford scored on both 3rd and 4th down. I'm going to argue no, just because I can and I want to.
He hustles the troops to the line. First down.
But Notre Dame currently stands at a glorious 6-0, with BYU coming up next. who they should handle. BYU is probably going to be feisty. BYU will always play hard, but they should handle BYU. And then after that, they have Oklahoma.
And the safety's all alone.
Then Pitt, Boston College, Wake Forest, USC. And I'm going to call my shot. Notre Dame is going to run the table. Notre Dame is going to win out and play in a BCS bowl game. Definitely. The polls would have to break the right way in order for them to get to a BCS championship game, but they'll at least, at worst, play in a BCS bowl game. If, and here's the big if they play Tommy Rees the rest of the way. If they play Rees, they'll win out. If they don't, I can see them dropping both the USC and the Oklahoma game. I'm trying to like Everett Golson. I'm trying really, really hard to like the guy. But the kid just makes me nervous. I just don't see it. I don't think he's going to be the answer at quarterback. And the reason why I say that is, look at the quarterbacks around the country that have a comparable amount of experience or are in the same class. Jeff Driscoll, Johnny Football at A&M, Johnny Manziel, David Ash, even Braxton Miller. Is Everett Golson anywhere remotely close to as good as any of those guys? No, absolutely not. He has a lot of bad habits, and I can just see, those kind of games where a scrambling quarterback goes up against a good defense and has that vacant, deer in the headlights, confused look. That game is coming. I can see it coming a mile away. And it's going to come either against Oklahoma or USC or both, and he's going to kill their season. I just don't see it. Sometimes a quarterback just either passes or fails the eyeball test. And for me, he fails. I mean, even Denard when he was young, when he was a freshman and a sophomore, and he's not nearly as fast as Denard nor as physically talented, but even Denard showed that he had, more of that intangible it that quarterbacks have, the good ones have, that Golson does. Golson just looks, he looks like a guy who is learning how to play quarterback. He looks like an athlete learning how to play the position. And there you go, that wide side out to the left. I want that route gone out of cover 1 and cover 0. And I just don't think he's going to get it. I really don't. I hope the kid proves me wrong, but he just makes me nervous. He makes me nervous every time he drops it back for the football. So my prayer and my plea to Brian Kelly is to start Rees at the risk of shattering young Mr. Golson's confidence, because I think Rees gives him the best chance to win. Rees knows the offense. He's not as physically gifted, but he at least knows where to go with the football. And that has to count for something. Being able to, know the playbook, know the reads, know where to go. That has to count for something. It's not all about just physical skills. It's about intangibles, knowing the offense, knowing where to go with the ball, throwing the ball on time. And Rees does all those things. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Everett's going to be the guy, and Rees coming in when Everett gets dinged up or when relief duty is needed. And that's a shame, because it's going to turn a potentially great season with the possibility of ending the regular season undefeated into a 2-loss season. But what can you do? and this guy is done. So that's the Notre Dame wrap-up for this week, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.